Hello guys, Omni here. Just finished the last episode of season 2 of Titans. And if you've seen my my review for the first season, it wasn't too kind. I didn't really latch onto it all that well. And this season started off, I thought, a lot better. The characters were a little more fleshed out. We got to spend a little more time with them. It felt like we were going to get to know them a little bit better throughout. And unlike the first season, which I thought had a lot of unnecessary kind of storylines, the plot threads, they kind of got off the rails at times. Where the characters were kind of lost in that season, things were at least kind of happening. But where the first couple episodes of this really kind of got me hooked because we were building the characters out, that was pretty much it for like the majority of this season. There was some action here and there, but this season was mostly so just drawn out and boring. A lot of, I thought, needless conflict within the team. Again, where we thought Dick kind of finally got his answers towards the end of last season, especially with the intro to this season when he has the conversation with Bruce. You think he's moving forward, but then he just again takes a bunch of steps back, and it's not until this episode, or the episode, technically the episode before this, where we're finally back where Dick should have been at the beginning of this season. You know, 2 seasons to resolve his whole like character insecurity was a little rough. I don't know what is going on with Corey's character at this point either, because she really was just there at the end of this season just to be there. Um, I feel like they also didn't really know what to do with Hank and Dawn, and I really loved their contributions in the last season. And same with Jason. It seemed like a lot of the characters, they just didn't know what to do with them. So we had a lot of meandering storylines, a lot of meandering character arcs that went on. The whole Cadmus thing, I really think that should have been chopped off and made its own thing. It because it really just kind of put a block in the middle of this season, because I thought when it was just about the team getting over what happened with Jericho, Rose, and Deathstroke, it was at its strongest when it was exploring what had happened to the team before. I thought that was when it was all working really well. But it just feels like every now and then we just forget about all of that. And again, the plot in this just meanders. The writing is just not as strong. Given I didn't think the writing was all that strong last season, but this season was starting off a lot better, I thought, and because it felt like there was actually some direction. And it was like about episode 5 that it just started being just kind of dead weight episodes every week. I think this episode, the season finale of this, was actually not that bad as far as some of the moments that played out in it, because we finally, out of 2 seasons of Titans, we've only ever seen the full group together maybe 2 times, even being the Titans. And one of those was in a flashback, and then we don't really get the full group until this. And this is 2 seasons later. Even in the what was the finale of last season, it was pretty much just Dick and Rachel, because everybody else had been possessed. Well, and Gar. But I gotta say, I love the Nightwing outfit. I love how that looks. How he comes into the Nightwing moniker doesn't quite make sense. And I also don't understand why Bruce has just a separate group of people that makes their superhero outfits and all knows their secret identities. And it just seems so strange that in this version of reality, everybody is chill with knowing that Bruce Wayne is Batman. But I do have to say that I actually did really grow to like Ian Glenn's version of Bruce Wayne. He had some really great moments, really great emotional chemistry with Dick, and some really lovely imagery that we see in some of these episodes from Dick's point of view, which were just fantastic to watch. And even though his introduction at the beginning of the season was a little wonky, given I think he was a little kind of struggling with his accent that he was going to be using for Batman. But throughout the season, the more we get to see Ian Glenn throughout, he does really kind of step into the role, and I really like how they play with that character in this. I do like the Deathstroke outfit, that character. I think a lot of the performances this season was really strong and really well done. I loved all of the Jericho bits. I think those parts again of this season's arc was just very gripping. At least to me, I really liked how that all played out, but it just kind of drifted off. Connor and Gar were just completely wasted this season, you know, and the ending really, 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 I'm not going to spoil everything. I mean, no, everybody knows Nightwing's in this at this point because it's just everywhere. They released a trailer showing off the outfit for the final episode, so I would assume everybody knows that a little bit, but there's another little thing. I've seen some people already talking about it on Twitter. I did have it kind of spoiled for me before going into this episode. But how something happens to a particular character makes no sense when you think about who all is there, because could have 100% avoided if just that one other person was just paying attention and everything would have been fine. I'm not sure who all's actually going to be coming back for the next season. I know they've already confirmed season 3 is going to be on the way. And I hope at least, and you shouldn't really hope for 2 seasons that a show's just going to kind of get good this late into the game, because I always give like a season, the first season, to really kind of take off, because when I think about a lot of my favorite shows, it's always the first season's the one I can feel like, you know what, I can probably skip the first season of this and just dive into the meat of it. But this one, it's 2 full seasons, and I just feel like they could have been so much more abridged or just better handled. Like if you had done these character episodes in between and at least had like a villain of the day like you kind of would in some other iterations of shows like this, maybe it would have helped things feel a little bit more energetic throughout. But this season, just like I said, at least with the first season, it was sloppy and clunky and all over the place, but something at least happened every episode. And it kept it from being boring. Even though I didn't like how a lot of the things played out in that episode, it was never boring. This season, again, it took way too long to get to the money shot. And by the time we get to the end of this, it's just like, all right, well, that was it. That was it. And Bruce making the suit again for Dick in this just kind of backpedals on that whole gripe that he had with the relationship about standing on his own, because Bruce already had it ready. He already had it ordered and made for him. Like he already knew what he was going to do. It just makes it even more like Dick's life isn't really in his own hands, that Bruce already always knows his every move. It just like, yeah, I don't know. It just does the opposite of what it seems like they're wanting it to do. But I know they're reconciling the relationship in this season, so maybe that's the takeaway for it. But overall, the season, though it started off with a lot of promise, I feel like it just kind of dropped the ball the more it went along. But it had some good moments in there. It had some key things that I did enjoy. But there's a couple of storylines even that it just completely dropped by the end of this. And they're just forgotten. Like, some pretty big deal ones, at least as far as the public populace should be concerned, of one of the storyline threads that does not get resolved or brought up again after a certain point. Let me just say, there's something out there that's probably still killing people. That's it. I don't know what else to say about this, though. It was really disappointing, but with the team finally being together, finally putting all of their issues under the bridge, water under the bridge, as they say in this, maybe going forward, maybe in season 3, shouldn't be saying that, but maybe in season 3, we'll get to see something a little more cohesive and finally get to see the Titans really get to be the Titans. The namesake of the show, we haven't really gotten to get that except through one flashback and the team up at the end of this final episode, the finale. And it's just kind of disappointing. And I don't know. I know a lot of people do really love the show, and I know I've gotten grief for my gripes with the first season, so I'm sure this video is going to get some gripes as well. But I still want to know what you guys thought. I went through some people's reaction on Twitter, and a lot of people do seem to be disappointed with this. So maybe this time around, I'll be in the majority. I don't know. But just let me know what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy how this all wrapped up? Did you enjoy this season? What was the weakest parts or the strongest parts to you guys? Sound off down in the comments so we can have that conversation. I don't care what your point of view is on this show, but I would love to know your takeaway. Even if it's different from mine, tell me what you thought. If you liked the show, tell me what you liked about it and what it did right. Maybe I'm just being a grump puff. Who knows? Just let me know. We'll have that conversation in the video after this. And thank you guys. If you like this video, be sure to support the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And thank you guys. I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.